Well, one of the biggest blessings following Hurricane Helene has been our churches. They have been shelters, collection sites, distribution centers, and most importantly, they have been a place of hope. For one local pastor, though, his farm became the church, a place where so many people got help in so many different ways. We caught up with Jeremy Dykes to learn about what became quite the relief effort. In fact, it was one of those places actually visited by the governor.
My wife and I live at a farm right there at Jackson Bridge. We had a lot of damage there on the farm, but I guess, Amy, I watched the day of the flood. I watched the water rise, felt helpless, really didn't know what to do. The next day we were able to see people where they had cut away across Jackson Bridge. We were able to pray with people there. There was people coming across, people that had said they'd slept in a barn the night before because they couldn't get over. And I prayed with those people, and the moment I prayed, I knew that we had such a mission that we didn't have to go out 1,000 miles away on a mission trip. The mission trip had come to our door, and we just started ministering to people. People started bringing supplies, whether it was water or toilet paper. People came in and started cooking meals, and our yard there just became a hub and became one of the distribution centers there at Jackson Bridge. One of the only bridge there that was usable in that area.
Yeah, you were kind of right there, so it lent itself to that as well. What did you see in the weeks following? Because it seemed like it was a 24/7 operation for a long time.
Absolutely. Just saw people coming every day. There was needs, whether it was water, whether it was people just coming needing spiritual guidance, or maybe just to pray. And what I loved, and I tell this is one of the first things that I say, is it wasn't that we were there announcing different denominations or different church names. We were coming together. There was one point where there was about 9 different churches there. I kept telling people we're coming together as the body of Christ, and we're going to work together, and we're going to glorify God, and that's why we're there. So I think that's what made it so, if you want to say successful, that's why we were able to help in such a big way, is because we were looking to God and keeping His as our number one priority.
And a lot of people are saying too, God's hand was in everything you were doing. The need was there, and literally a vehicle would drive up and it was full.
Yeah, story after story. I mean, there was one in particular story someone told about a lady pulled up in the family, they were needing an oxygen tank. The very next car had oxygen tanks. And we saw that. It's got cold chills on me thinking about it. We saw that time after time. It's just that when we had a need, God provided that need for the people.
And Jeremy, that need continues to exist, and we know it's going to exist for a long time to come. What are we doing now, and how can people be of assistance to their neighbors now?
Absolutely. Long-term recovery, we're looking at several years, but right now I know what we're focusing on, it being November and with winter coming up, we're thinking a lot about, what's the need for Thanksgiving? What about Christmas? What about March when it's, 5 degrees? And so these buddy heaters, we're collecting those, and those are being utilized and passed out in the community. We're also doing a lot of warm clothing, whether it's toboggans or scarves or gloves, sweatshirts. We got a load in the other day. There was a church down in Sevierville. We got over like 2,000 articles of clothing that we're able to get into a lot of these schools and a lot of the schools that were affected. So yeah,
And of course, these are your friends and neighbors, and as you're seeing them down the road to recovery, are they feeling the love that people have for them?
Amy, I think so. I really do. I believe. I've heard so many people say, whether it was the Red Cross or whether when FEMA came in, that local people were doing things, for that effort, and it was amazing. And whether it was FEMA or Red Cross would say, keep doing what you're doing. And people saw that the people of Washington County came together, and that we were caring and loving on people, caring for and loving on people. Just to God be the glory. I'm usually not speechless, Amy, but seeing how the Lord has worked through this and the people coming together, I wish that could just sweep over our nation to what we've seen in Washington County and the surrounding areas. And I know it's the Lord's hand. I believe it without a shadow of a doubt.
In the aftermath of the floods in September, 3 local ladies have put boots on the ground to help those who have lost everything due to the destructive floodwaters. Coming up, we'll tell you more about Operation Appalachian Angels. Stay with us.